peak. That's about right. Maybe I should sneak Sundowner. Yeah, there we go. Turn on the desktop audio. Not that there is any audio right now. Oh, speaking of, I should probably turn the music back on. There we go. When humanity warred, there was only Bingus. All right, let's get it going. Yeah, the missile tier list took a while, because I can tell you a lot of the strengths and weaknesses of different missiles, but actually placing them in a tier list is pretty difficult. A lot of them ended up in B tier. What mods did someone try? Well, the first mods that I tried were Diablo Avionics and Scalar Tech. Just those two, really. You definitely don't want to go too overboard because it can be overwhelming, especially with mods that add more difficulty. Alright, so I think it's about time that humanity locks in. It's about time we get serious, you might even say. Oh, that's distracting. Hold on, let me try and change that. Okay, that should be less distracting. How about this? No, no, not like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. There we go. Next, Sarah on your first playthrough is probably going to be a little overwhelming, yeah. The base game already has enough complexity to it. Okay, I don't think I have a lot of great options here. So with the Hivers being as ridiculous as they are, and the AI not really being equipped to deal with overpowered fighters, I think the only real option here, if I'm going to take the threat seriously, is to max out on point defense. So I'm thinking of sucking up to Scalar Tech. Enjoy, sir. Thank you, Ruben, for the 69. Nice. I can even put a little heart on that. That's cute. Fun fact, super chats are more likely to be noticed if they're in digits such as 420 or 69. This is scientifically true. Yes, I've conducted a thoroughly peer-reviewed study on this. Yeah, I think it's time for Paladins. I think this is where Paladins can actually shine. Despite being a C-tier weapon, I'm going to be using Paladins. Specifically, I'm going to suck up to Scalar Tech because they have essentially what is like a high-tech Legion. It's got large energies instead of large ballistics, and it's got 4 fighter bays. So I can load that up with Paladins, max out all the point defensive effectiveness on it, and those things should be able to obliterate even the most overwhelming of fighter waves. And then, the cool thing is, yeah, what's good? Thank you, Matuz. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Matuz? Yeah, I hope you like the starting soon screen. I made it myself. Keep it up. Thank you, Daryl. I will. It's a slightly off from 69, which is somehow kind of annoying. But I'll take it. Yeah, I think Paladins with like S-modded magazines and S-modded turret gyros are going to be really good. And the problem is, of course, that for most ships, this kind of cripples their fighting capability. But if I'm putting it on a battle carrier, well, then I just need to load it with overpowered fighters. And normally I would feel bad about that, but against the Hivers, I'm just fighting fire with fire. Right? It's an even trade, my friend. Nothing to feel bad about when they're hitting me with overpowered fighters. So it's more like Matush. So it's sh. So the SC is more pronounced like SH. Do you name your own ships? Sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Depends on how much I want to get in. It just depends on how much I want to invest in that playthrough. If I'm playing things more by the ear and letting them die, all right, that's good. Matush. So if I'm playing things more by the ear and I'm losing more ships like I have been in this playthrough, then probably not going to name them. Whereas if I have a more solid plan and I'm pretty confident that I'm not losing anything, then I'm more likely to name them because they're going to stick around. Right? If you throw away all of your good names on a lot of early ships that you end up losing anyways, then you're going to run out of good names, and you're just left there naming them very generic stuff, and it's not. It kind of ruins the vibe. Yeah, the Indestructible 5. What happened to Indestructible 1 through 4? Don't ask about it. Just don't ask. Right, so I don't have an ion cannon, which is unfortunate. But this should be fine. This thing needs some guns. The options are... Oh, that's actually pretty decent. Just get 3 of those off the black market. Simple enough. And once again, of course, do not have Vulcans. That's a shame. Oh, thank you, Matuz. How about Enforcer? How about Enforcer? I'm not a huge fan of the Enforcer, overall. It's definitely not my first choice. It can work as an escort for larger ships. But it's not something that I'm really thinking about right now. Actually, what I want to do for the late game fleet is not just the battle carriers. I also want to do a lot of the Cobals from Vic. I want to give them another shot because they look really cool, and what they can do is really cool. But the one that I got died, and I don't think I gave it a fair shake. So I'm going to try those things again. Let's see. I might just have to put in... Well, I don't want to do light assault guns. They're pretty mediocre. Oh, thank you, Bob Roos, 42. Any plans on a new FTL video? The last two are great. Rip the Steakhouse. Yes, actually. I was playing it pretty recently. The Zoltan Cruiser is probably going to be my next run because I tried the Stealth B to see if I could figure out a way to make the Stealth B work. And man, it is so absolutely brutal on hard. There's so many restarts in the first sector. It is ridiculous. But the Zoltan, I was like, all right, I'll do this. I'm just going to play for fun, I'll just do this. And then I ended up winning. Well, I must say, don't panic. I'll try not to panic. Last time I pissed myself, I try not to piss myself when someone gives 42. It's 420 though, so it's definitely got my attention. I think expanded missile racks can take up too much. Yeah, so you've got to carry piss towels around. That's just the nature. Look, that's what the streamers don't tell you, all right? They've all got to carry around piss towels because when the number gets big enough, bodily functions go out the window. Like, that's the real cost. They're just too embarrassed to mention it. Oh, thank you, Bunny. Love your style of content. It's great, and you're one of the few long-form creators I return to. That's very nice. Thank you. Not Gamer P bottles. Oh, that's true. Yo, have I been doing it wrong this whole time? Is it supposed to be P bottles? Damn. There's so many chairs, so many towels ruined. Branded piss towels. That's pretty funny. Yeah, low tier god. Mods, crush his skull. Alright, alright, alright. Let's see. So you're doing your thing, you're doing your thing, you're doing your thing. Alright. Gotta fill out those last few ordnance points. I'm not sure heavy armor's the way to go. I'm not sure. Might just be better with more flux. Honestly. Actually, first things first, I should really get a flux distributor. Because this thing is pretty overfluxed. Damn you, light assault gun. And your mediocrity. Yeah, I think this is what I'm going to have to go with. For the most part, it's not too important. Because for the most part, I'm going to be doing exploration contracts. Yeah. Okay, scan me. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Get out of here. Yeah. You're going to mess with John's Star Sector? Chaticus Rex? I don't think so. Leave. Be gone from my sight. Okay. I would love to do some things to get some reputation with you guys, because I really want your battle carrier. So I'll hang out around Spindle to see if I can pick up some contracts from them. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. Naming them after you songs you like is not a bad idea. I mean, it's hard to say if I like a specific genre when mostly I just look at YouTube recommendations and I click on it if I like the thumbnail, and then I listen to the song and it's like, oh, I like this, or no, I don't like this, and then I move on. I don't really use Spotify or anything, or worry too much about like the genre of what I'm listening to. Okay, so I'm going to check if there's any missions around Spindle, so that way I can hover around them while doing stuff, and hopefully pick up some transmissions. Path of Exile 2, I'm not really into those style of games, to be honest. And High Scatter Amplifier is really hard to make it work. I'll try it at some point, maybe include it in a fleet at some point, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Man, there's so many damn tabs. Okay, let's click through them. Fleet log, that's not it. Alpha Site is still waiting around, but apparently there's extra difficulty there because of mods, so we're not going to worry about that. Not going to worry about that. Orbital Habitat, that's going to be worth visiting. Missions. Oh, hello. Same system, and they're in the same direction as the thing I'm already doing. Don't have the crew for that, so I'm not going to do it. Is this in a black hole? Interesting. Very interesting. Market capture. Oh. Oh no, is Spindle not going to exist? Oh, that's bad. I really want to use their battle carrier, but they might not exist if the hegemony takes them out. I don't think they have any other systems. It's just this one. So they've only got a size 5 planet now. That is a shame. Well, we'll have to figure that out. Let's see, exploration. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think we'll just focus on this for now. We'll stop by Spindle, pick up some fuel, and then I'll go out and do this, come back down, do this, and that should be good. But yeah, the hegemony has taken their main planet. I mean, aren't you guys annoying enough with your AI inspections? Do you have to ruin everything else too? Can't be satisfied just being a nuisance. And it's an orbital station, so I'm definitely going to get some fuel out of this deal. I'll just go straight there. Let's get on out of here. 130 supplies should be enough. We're all good. Yeah, I think one way to help look at it and to help budget a lot of your trips is to think of it like the contract that you're doing is paying you the money for your fuel, your crew, and your supply costs. Now, usually you're going to make more from the trip than actually all of that, but to be conservative with your budget estimates, just assume that it's covering your travel costs. And then the real reward, the real profit you get is the loot that you find out there. So the scanning the orbital station covers the travel costs to get there. And then the real profit comes from the stuff I get from looting the orbital station. If you think about things that way, it's a lot easier to make sure you're still profiting on every journey. I mean, the missile tier list was pretty challenging to make. I was getting ready to skip it and to do Omega tier weapons first. I was getting ready to do that first, but I finally got everything sorted out, and I think it's in a pretty good spot. But it was definitely giving me a bit of a headache. Because a lot of missiles are very specialized. Like, how do you rate a Reaper? That's a lot of damage, but man, short range, slow, misses a lot. So it's got high highs and low lows. I'm probably just going to record it after the stream and then upload it for tomorrow. So there'll probably be the missile tier list tomorrow. There's no F-tier missiles. No. In fact, there's only one D-tier missile. Like, most missiles are at least C-tier. But even then, like, the B-tier is massive. Like there's a lot of B-tier missiles. You might, if you've seen the ballistic or the energy tier list, the A, B, and C tier are pretty even for those, but for missiles it's different. It's like B tier is just massive compared to everything else. All right, a gate. Excellent. That's what I like to see. I think hyperspace could use a little bit more content, but they've definitely done a lot with sensor ghosts and the slipstreams, and now you've got the ability to reverse slipstreams, so... Well, thank you for the 6.69. Thank you. Matush. Reapers, medium on Griffin. That is... I'm in pain just thinking about it. We're talking about a sideways Griffin here. Like, it's already challenging enough to get a Cyclone to work. Yeah, I understand not using missiles some of the time. Although it depends on the ship. If it's a ship that doesn't rely too heavily on its missiles, then you can get away with it. Save the points for other things. So PCL cheese potential has been nerfed a lot. They got their rate of fire cut in half. But they still have the same advantage as always, which is the absolutely insane amount of hit points that makes them almost impossible to shoot down. Hell yeah, look at that. Loot. Yeah, we're actually under cargo capacity. Nice. I'm thinking about... because I'd like to talk about all the missiles, but I also don't want to spoil the tier list too much. Don't want to spoil it too much. Let's see. Let's get a little data here. That's what I like to see. Getting up to that maximum is... Best missiles obviously semi-brave. Well, no arguing with that, really. I mean, it's only a semi-brave, too. Just wait till they release the full brave. Give me those ruins. I was hoping for a little more supplies. That was not great. Okay, here we go. Gimme, gimme. What has it got? Increased maintenance. Ooh, I mean, that's not the worst thing. It's only got one DMod. Omens with Reapers can definitely be okay. Especially once you get the missile autoloader, because they might miss a lot, but with 4 shots for... Like, they've got the spare ordnance points that they can mount Reaper and S-mod missile autoloader. They might miss, but 4 shots is 4 shots. They only need to hit once to have a significant impact. So, hold on. Let me just double check here. Let me check my cargo. It's mostly metals, so even if I salvage these, I don't really need the cargo capacity because the metals aren't worth much anyways. So yeah, I'll salvage those. Yeah, and look, food. What is that worth? Nothing. Well, it's worth more than the metals, at least. In fact, I'll just toss all of that. Forget about it. Yeah, forget about it. Let's get on there. Terran World. Alright. So, we've got a stable point where I can build a comm relay. We've got domain era sensor relays. Get a desert world, which didn't seem... It's alright. It's not great. Scan this. It's got some ruins. At the very least, I could try and plunder the ruins. You can build like a temporary colony. Because you can always abandon them once you don't need them. And you can do tech mining for a short amount of time. Depending on how good this Terran world is, with a gate in system already, this could be a really good place to colonize. And I've got 2 Gamma cores. Tritachyon will be very pleased. Oh, hello. Pursuing my fleet with those 2. You guys aren't hivers. You guys are not hivers. I don't know why you would think you stand a chance, but you don't. Right, this is, oh, probably because you're big. And hypervelocity drivers really aren't the best for fighting these. But annihilators are pretty good. Alright, let's close the distance. Oh yeah. This is going pretty well. Just gotta... Yeah, now we're doing some hull damage. Well, those fighters can be pretty scary. The omens are... Well, they're gonna do omen things. Alright, are you going to keep spinning, or are you going to fight back? Like, I'm not sure what's going on here, buddy. Did I give you brain damage? Too many missiles? Alright, bye. Oh, nice shot. Alright, all of you, go over there. Atropos used to be 2K? That's a lot. Yeah, the trade-off between hammers and reapers is pretty interesting. Because Reapers, like a single Reaper has more damage than 2 hammers. But hammers have more total HP between the 2 of them, and they're faster. So I think in general, if you have like 1 or 2 small missile mounts, then Reapers are going to be better to maximize the impact. But if you have a lot of missile mounts, then you want to use hammers. Like on the Eradicator, I'd rather use hammers, because then I can fire off a bunch of them to force their way through point defense. I don't think I've heard of Kiltsiv Technocracy. I mean, there's a lot of people talk a lot about mods, but I don't think I've actually heard of that one. This is a pretty tiny Terran world, so it's pretty much guaranteed to have low gravity. Yeah, the reload time on the larger versions is long for Reapers, but that's also... it also means that the AI doesn't waste them as much. But the reason that they're 15 seconds is because the longest possible overload is 15 seconds. Which means that, by default, you can't use a Reaper to overload the enemy, and then use the... like, you can't have a Typhoon overload the enemy, and then fire off another shot before the overload ends. They're specifically timed to make that very difficult. But if you get elite missile specialization to increase the rate of fire, suddenly that equation changes. And now you can overload them with a Typhoon, and then before the overload ends, fire off another one into their hull. Oh, it's not on the mod index. That's interesting. Talon, Gladius, Claw. Which of the 3 is most important to have on a battle carrier? The Talon, probably. Partly because it's the cheapest, so you have the most extra ordnance points to actually fit out your battle carrier with, like, its main weapons. And because it's also the most independent. I wouldn't really run Gladius or Claw by themselves, but the Talon can at least distract the enemy and hunt down enemy frigates by itself, without burning through too much replacement rate. An Alpha Core is a pretty nice find. Wow. Okay. We're looking good with this loot haul. In fact, I gotta start dumping stuff. Whew. Alright. Some of this. Wow. I would love to stabilize the orbit, but I am never coming back here, so it's kind of pointless. Wait, hold on. I should probably hold on to these instead. They're worth a little bit more than the volatiles. And that looks like everything in the system. That's a pretty good system. Now hold on. Is there any gates closer to my next destination? Because if not, that's going to be annoying. No, of course not. But yeah, this is pretty good. Like, if we look at the stats on this thing, +1 farmland, extensive ruins. It doesn't have transplutonics, so if I find soil nanites, I can place them here. This is a really good colony candidate. Like, low gravity increases the hazard rating, but it's also boosting accessibility. So while it's kind of far out at the edge of the sector, it's a little bit compensated for with low gravity, and the gate helps us get back to the core worlds really quickly. There's another habitable world in the same system, although that desert world is kind of mediocre. I don't see too much of a reason for that. Decivilized is a bit annoying, but whatever. It's pretty good. See, this is one of the advantages of doing exploration rather than doing smuggling. Like, you can do smuggling in the early game to get your feet off the ground, but I really prefer to make money by doing a lot of exploration contracts. Partly just it's more fun because you get to explore, and also you naturally run into combat. So there's a wider variety of things you end up doing. So it doesn't get as monotonous. And then at the same time, you find free hull mods, you find alpha cores, you find colony items, and then you find the planets that you can actually put them on. Decivilized boosts population growth. Yeah, I guess that's hazard rating, but boosted population growth. Yeah, I guess it's not bad as far as negative effects go. What would I like to see in future updates? That's a great question. The thing that the game needs most right now is more endgame content. Because you build a colony, you make $1 million, and then you make $1 billion, and then you don't really do a whole lot with it. Matush is now officially a certified gamer. Thanks for joining the channel membership. You get a little gamma core next to you. A little... I also added a couple emotes. There's like a... Hold on. Let's see. Click and... Yeah. Lobber. Yeah, there needs to be more late game content, but as far as I'm aware, that's going to be in the next patch. Like, Alex is adding that stuff into the next patch, and he's hinted at what's there, but he hasn't given away too much information. Yeah, there's a big laser beam. So, hold on, maybe I should show the build that he did, because he posted like an Invictus build talking about how this is his best build. Yeah, I become a boss for the endgame. He's talked about like... Like, it was like an Invictus build, but the thing had locusts, and it had 6 devastators. And then it had systems expertise to boost the canister flak. And as if that wasn't enough, his other ships all appear to be omens. So, it seems like whatever endgame threat he's cooked up, it's spamming fighters. There's going to be a lot of fighters. Let's see. Okay, another gate. Wow. That is really convenient. Maybe I'll colonize this system too, depending on how good these worlds are. Yeah, the Paladin might actually be a lot better all of a sudden. I could definitely see, depending on how things go, we could see the return of the Paragon with Paladins. That might actually be the meta solution to this problem. Or like the Triple Devastator, or like the Devastators on the Legion. That might be the meta. We'll see. Well, at the very least, well, that does hurt a lot of the other non-Omen frigates. At the very least, the Tempest is getting its Terminator drone buffed. And right now it's at a 20-second replacement time, and it sounds like he's pushing it down to 10. And as I've said before, like if you cut the replacement time in half, that's more than twice as good because of the way replacement rate works. So having much lower downtime after using termination sequence should make it a lot safer against fighters. But it's definitely going to hurt like the Scarab. Yeah, let's turn that on. Let's turn this on. Wow, yeah, this has all of the... This has 3 pieces of domain error equipment. This is all 3. Yeah, he turned it down to 5 seconds for a test, and apparently the termination sequence was just demolishing everything, because at that point, the Tempest could just spam it. Oh, hold on. That's cargo pods. What I'm looking for is... Come on, move. I'm left-clicking. I saw the debris field. There it is. Thank you. The Tempest kind of falls off compared to... Like, it's more expensive than an Omen, but it's not really better. And if you want something that's got more striking power than an Omen, the Scarab is right there. At the same cost as the Tempest. Okay, that looks a lot more like a toxic world than a barren world, but if you insist. Yeah, let's get that comm relay online. And we're right next to... No, these are both in this system. 69 days to complete. Nice. Yeah, nope, that is not getting done. That looks like a debris field. Yes. Give me the bones of starships. Let me harvest them for their oil. Their space oil. Their antimatter. Well, the thing is, with comm sniffers, you... Actually, I forgot about those, but the best way to use them is... If you keep them below enough, then there's no chance. Like, if you just have one, then it's never going to get removed. So if you have a favorite faction, let's say that you're a big fan of some mod faction or something, and you want to get more contracts from them and get more reputation with them, then you put a comm sniffer in their system, so you've always got access to their information, and you just put it on the one. Okay, hold on. No, I haven't played Space Pirates and Zombies, but I have heard of that one. Let's see, a nearby pack of knaves and scums. In return, could you drop a few bombs? 20 fuel. Reward heavy armaments. Well, 4 of these is worth more than 20 fuel. And I've got the cargo space. I've got the fuel. Alright, sure. I'll take it. Hey, this is pretty good. Right? No atmosphere is great for refining. It's great for fuel production. Extreme heat is good for military. And then it's got both ore types, so I can put a mantle bore here. This is actually pretty solid. Explore the ruins. Comm relay. Well, you know, dislikes, I believe, also boost things in the algorithm. I don't really bother leaving dislikes, personally. Chuck's in you moving on. Oh, well, you got me there. It appears I've been bamboozled. Yes, the algorithm gods require sacrifices. Specifically your firstborn child. They're much like Rumpelstiltskin in that way. In fact, the algorithm used to go to college with Rumpelstiltskin. That's why they have so much in common. $500, that's a lot. Wow, am I really leaving behind luxury goods? I guess so. A little bit of heavy machinery, yeah. Alright. And I've still got more. I can sell that, I've already got. Whew, okay. Well, hold on. I'll take all of that, open the cargo pods, because this is in a system with a gate, so I can come back here pretty easily. So we can dump all of this into here. 3,000 food, of course. Yes, exactly what I need. Stable orbit. 21. Never mind, hold on. So, I think what I want to do is take the food out. And then I dump the food into a separate bunch of cargo pods. And then I have to click on the smaller one. Yeah. Yeah. 21 supplies? No thanks. 2 supplies? I'll do that. And then we can head over to this gate. Get that fired up. Did I find both of them? Yeah? Oh, they're both at the gate. That's why I haven't found them yet. What is all this? We're probably fine. Okay. It looks like United POMED actually took a world from the Hivers. That's interesting. $45 Marines, sure. Yeah, I'm not going to salvage these just yet, because I'm a little full. But I'm going to take that cash, and I can go through the gate. I can sell shit. And then I can come back and harvest all of this stuff. Alright, hold on. I've got to go to the bathroom. I will be back in a second. Alright, what did I miss? Yeah, I was AFK for a second. Maybe I should have like a bathroom break screen. Beware, the streamer is now pissing. Alright, let's go sell some stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing midline. I think the Hivers are a little too serious of a threat to try and do a thematic fleet. I'm going to be focusing on something a bit more specialized. Would you care for some organs, my good sir? Freshly harvested from local orphans. You're not going to find deals better than this. I don't really need these Marines. You can have that too while you're at it. And some of these. And there we are. Let's get a little more fuel. Do you guys actually sell any? Well, hey, look at that. Omens. Tempest. As always. Oh, the towel's completely soaked from earlier. That's why. That's why I had to get up. You know, that's what you get for only carrying one towel. Like a real streamer carries around multiple towels. Or bottles. Oh God. Tier listing modded content's good. I'm not even going to think about that for now. I get the idea, but like every mod has a lot of content to explore. And I'm going to ask is like how much fun are they? How balanced are they? That sort of thing. Yeah, ship. I'm going to do ship tier list once I get through the weapons. Gets a catheter hooked up to a large bottle that overflows onto a towel. Well, Evan, now we're just starting to make a, like, what's it called? A Rube Goldberg machine, but for piss. And that just makes me uncomfortable. S rank is the stuff that I like, and F rank is the stuff that I don't like. Absolutely true. Yaoman's probably going to be S tier. Oh, look. I guess I should have come here if I wanted Centurions this whole time. I mean, look at that. Just look at that. All things considered. I really need to, so what I need to do is I need to visit Spindle. They don't have a gate, do they? No. They've only got this left. I don't know if this can even sell battleships. There might not be a point. I'll have to do like... I'll have to look for like Spindle deserters and hope that I can recover some from them. Missiles is going to be... I'll do the recording today and it'll be up on the channel tomorrow. Yes, I have a glass of water, actually. I'm drinking from it right now. Yeah. So I really do want that. I really want that battle carrier. As a backup plan, I always can do Paragons, I guess. What is all this talk about piss? We don't talk about the piss. Just put it out of sight, out of mind. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay. So I've got cash. I've got a lot of cash. And see, here's the mistake that you might make. Is you've got cash and you're going to spend it all on ships. But why? As long as I avoid combat, I can go and do a lot of these missions and make a bunch of cash very easily. Save up a ton of cash, right? Especially because spending your cash on ships is hurting your XP gains. You want to take those fights with bonus XP so you can level up faster. Don't underestimate the power of levels. So, hold on. Yeah, it doesn't automatically... It's a bit annoying that it does not automatically... Stabilized orbits for supplies are kind of important, and for whatever reason, they don't automatically go tagged as important, so you've got to go... Which one is it? This one. I've got to go do this manually, which is a bit silly. That's a lot of D-mods. Honestly, I could probably take on this fleet if they try to attack me. This is danger rating 4, but I'm not that scared. Just outmaneuver them. Simple as that. Alright, let's get some loot. Fill up our cargo holds once more. Nah. Recovery? No thanks. So, oh, it's all the way down there. Wow. Uh-oh, now you want to fight, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright. Well, we're going to do this. Alright, scavs. 46%. Easy. Might as well just hand over your experience points right now. You're like a level 1 goblin. I'm a level 5 warrior. You do the math. How does a wolf get obliterated by salamanders that easily? That's just... that pilot should be embarrassed. So wasps, not too threatening to my armor. That thing has a mining blaster, so it might be a little dangerous. It's a graviton, so we're safe. I don't want to overcommit to any attack right now. But if I can get the carrier, that would be nice. Especially since they're not really protecting it. And for a cruiser class, it's going to be pretty vulnerable. Come on, let's get those annihilators through. I mean, there's a lot of wasps in the way, so it's going to be hard, but... Alright, those light assault guns are slowly but surely chipping away at my armor. Come on. Yeah, there we go. How are you guys doing? You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Probably want the Omens fighting the carrier a bit more than me, but whatever. Alright, come on, let's get some shots through. It would be nice if I had a heavy mauler instead of triple HVDs, but that's what I've got to work with. Alright, let's finish what I started. Come on. This is kind of the annoying part with the Omni Shield. This is a bit... It can be a bit difficult to manage an Omni Shield, but at the same time managing your weapons. So I usually rely on frontal shields, or if I'm using an Omni Shield, I try to not use any of the weapons and just put them all in auto fire. Honestly, I think the machine guns have been a pretty good choice for this fight specifically. They've done a good job at harassing frigates that get too close, even though they're not as good at point defense. Yeah, little shepherd. A little shepherd protecting its flock. Goodbye. A level 6 officer and a wayfarer is a complete waste. I mean, as a starting ship, the wayfarer is fine, but I've never spent credits on one. No, I don't. I'm not running Secrets of the Frontier now. ATOX for Omni Shield support. I mean, I've tried... I don't know if I've run that specific mod, but I've definitely tried a mod for Omni Shields, and man, it feels really bad when the AI starts controlling it, and you're like, wait, hold on. Please just point it at the obvious thing that you should be pointing it at, and then it doesn't. Yeah, Shepherd Spin is a feature. The devs are aware of it. They're leaving it in because it's funny. It's like a Beyblade. It's an effective battle tactic. They write about it in the Hegemony's manuals. Watch out for scavengers using the fabled Shepherd Spin. They've been known to saw conquests in half. Yeah, the Omens didn't kill him, but they've certainly kept him busy. Because an Eradicator is not going to solo this mission, or I guess this fleet. As long as these guys are busy, then that's not a problem. Careful there. Okay, why are you getting so reckless when you're low on... Your shields are maxed out. Like, stop moving forward. Move backwards. Please. Yeah, the Shepard pilot took a little bit too much inspiration from the Phantom Menace. I'll try spinning. That's a good trick. My favorite thing is when someone edited that audio line over Anakin doing a front flip before getting cut in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Spoilers, by the way, for a 20-year-old movie. He's like, I'll try spinning. That's a good trick. Gets cut in half. Very funny. Alright. Do I actually want to recover? I could recover a very beat-up Heron. I don't think I will. You see, they try... This is the strategy. Yeah, those movies are old now. I know. They're like 20 years old. It's in fact not... We're not living in 2018 or even 2015 or any of that. No, we're in 2024. Those movies came out, what? Like, early, like, 2001? 1999? Old. They're part of cinema history now. Yeah, I did add the mods to the description this time. Next year, my brother and Lud, it's going to be 2025 next month. Think about that. So you can see that gave me enough XP to level up. And that's kind of the easy strategy, is to keep your fleet. You have some like decent frigates like Centurions and Omens, and you kit them out nicely. They keep the enemy distracted while you kill everything with your flagship, and that lets you take on fights that are going to give you some solid bonus XP. So you can level up faster, and at the same time you're making bank by doing exploration missions. Yeah, 2025 sci-fi ascending year. God, what was it? Sword Art Online? We're supposed to have nerve gear in, like, what, 2020? I think was it like 2020? Something like that? Yes, I have a bug in the Centurion, but it's not, look, it's a skin condition, alright? Robert Smith is a fully fledged human being. He just has a skin condition, okay? He's very sensitive about it. Let's try not to bring it up. Let's see. I mean, Elite Gunnery Implant is okay on an Omen, but not really... Well, I guess I'm not keeping the Omens around forever, so it's fine. Yeah, I'll just leave you at a lower level. Honestly, you're fine with just that. That's fine. I mean, we do have some pretty cool VR headsets. Just not quite full sensory experience. Just vision and sound for now. Is there a new patch? Not yet. Not yet. We're looking at mods here. So I've got a new skill point. Wolfpack Tactics would be pretty good for the little guys, but so would Flux Regulation. I think this is what I was working towards. Flux Regulation is really big. Let's just grab that. Full body haptics. Yeah, well, given what has happened in a lot of virtual social games, I know where that's going. People don't have... We don't even have full body haptics yet, and people are already using their virtual reality for, well... Never. Alright, let's check out whatever this is. Oh, right. First, I'm going to finish salvaging all of these. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I really want to actually take any of these. I'm just going to throw them. You guys get thrown into the scrap heap. To the junkyard with you. And now there's a bunch of cargo pods floating around, just the way that Lud intended. I guess I'll have to come back for the cargo pods after another run back to the core worlds. No, I don't need another one of those. I'm good. Alright, let's go down. What have we got here? Oh, just a brawler. No, I'm not recovering that. Brawler is not good. It is... Like, the Ludic Path brawler is better, but the basic brawler is not very good. Yeah, when you get to technology, you're pretty much always taking flux regulation at that tier. It's kind of the part of the problem is it's just the generic option, whereas the others are a bit more specific. Like not every fleet wants phase ships, not every fleet wants Neuralink. ECCM, like the electronic warfare is kind of generic, but not quite as good as flux regulation. Yeah, the Tritachyon Brawler is definitely still not great, but it's better because it's got 10 more ordnance points. And now you can mount like double phase plants with advanced optics. So it can do a few things, but it's not... Oh, really? I'm gonna need more cargo space. Mule. It's a pirate mule too, so shielded cargo is pretty useful. Mules are definitely alright. I would rather have a mule than one of these with D-mods. So, yeah, let's get some more cargo space. I guess I'll just put a couple of those. Unless there's good options down here. Well, I could do harpoons, but I don't think I will. Anti-shield 700. Okay, what is this? 6 ordnance points, 700 range, good accuracy, efficient, but DPS is not great. Forgotten predecessor of the railgun. Okay, so it's like a side grade to the railgun. I'll just run that. I mean, Gorgons are pretty good against frigates. I mean, they're not very good against much else, but they're good against frigates. Partly because the Colossus has a couple D-mods. That's the main reason I'm not using it. This is also a pirate variant, so it gets shielded cargo holds, which is a nice little bonus. And yeah, if I need to deploy it in combat, it can... It's not amazing, but it can definitely defend itself from frigates. Speaking of, I might prefer... Yeah, let's go with harpoons. It's got some kinetic damage. It's got a bit of options here. Alright. I don't want it to be sitting on the battlefield that long, so I'll skip the missile racks. Expanded cargo does not need expanded fuel, but I will need this. The weapons are pretty efficient, so it doesn't need too much of that. I've never tried Escort Package Mule, now that I think about it. That could be decent as an escort for... You know what? Let's go with it. Let's try that out. That might actually be crazy. It might actually be good. We'll have to find out. Alright, let's go with that. I don't generally like turning railguns into point defense weapons because, I mean, if you're running a ballistic ship, you've got access to like flak and railguns, which are all pretty good. And then railguns, you mostly want them to be shooting at enemy shields rather than enemy missiles. Yeah, Mule Escort might be a good idea. Because it's pretty solid cargo ship. But then also, you can load it up with some missiles, some kinetic weapons, and just have it escort your capital ship around. Because an escort doesn't really need to be strong, it just needs to be threatening enough that the enemies don't flank you. Especially in that last fight, I would have taken a lot less damage if I had something... Like, I could have had one, like the Centurion escorting me, but in this case, I can have these three running around distracting enemies, and then have the Mule escort me. And it's only, what, 7 deployment points? Not bad. Do you happen to have a heavy molo, my good sir? No. That's a shame. But you do have some of that sweet flux dissipation. Speaking of, we can drop that and get the real thing. I don't need to do that when you can get the real thing. Wow. My stats are so much better. Thank you. Thank you, Flux Regulation. Yeah, it only has 60 speed, but if it's escorting something that's faster than itself, or... Actually, yeah, that's right, the Eradicator is pretty fast. But let's not forget, it has maneuvering jets, so it's not as bad as it looks. And plus, Escort Package gives it a top speed boost. On top of that, that's not going to show up here. Like, if the Escort Package can take a lot of other destroyers and make them really good, then it can take a Mule and make it decent. You know what? This is a pretty... Yeah, I think that's a good choice. In fact, I can drop these. It only needs like 240. Get more capacity. Alright. Nice. That's good to see it. I like the Odyssey, but I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to run it in this fleet. Reckless Ordnance Expertise. Well, I've already got officers filled out, so I'm going to pass. Let's go back and pick up those cargo pods. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's the food. Wow, I actually managed to fit all of it. Even the metal. Surveyed, surveyed, surveyed. No, unsurveyed there. Okay. I'll survey this one, and then I'll do a little overview of this system to see if it's worth colonizing. Vanilla capital ship. Honestly, I kind of like all of them. It's hard to pick a favorite. People like to argue that, oh, so like usually people will point to the Onslaught being kind of overpowered, but I don't even think that's true. I think it's just easier to use. I think all the capitals perform really well and are fairly well balanced. Yeah, even the Executor is pretty solid. Compared to the Pegasus, it's got a massive boost in shield efficiency and top speed. And then it's got high energy focus, so you can do some pretty good things with the Executor. Okay, let's have a look at the... Nope. Let's look at the... Yeah. It'd be nice if there was a... No, there is a way to view all of the system together. There we go. Go to the star. Alright, so this one I haven't surveyed, but it's probably not worth it because it's got heavy gravity anyways. Favorite modded ship? I really like the Versant. I don't think it's particularly good, but I think the transforming mechanic is really cool. That's always the one that comes to mind for me. See, yeah, between these three, this one is pretty good. Hazard rating is high, but it's got a lot of potential. And then there's the gate. Yeah, this system, I'm definitely going to colonize this planet at some point. Or, well, the good planet, this guy. In fact, I might even do it soon, given how much money I have. See, net income for last month, 15,000. Yeah, as long as you don't allow your officers to level up, they don't charge you more money. So, I'm just going to leave them at level 2, because they're doing a fine job as it is. Damn freeloaders. I didn't even want you guys, and you still charged me 90 credits. So the only concern really with starting a colony, I could manage the regular crisis, but if the Hybers send an invasion, it's going to get a little sketchy. Now, by a little sketchy, I mean we might lose a few people. Yeah, I would probably colonize the Terran world first. Man, I cannot wait for these intel tabs to be... Oh man, next patch is going to be so good. Navigating intel is going to feel so much better. Where was it? It was in a system with a gate. Hold on. Gate. Here we go. Yeah, I would colonize this first. Much lower hazard rating, boost to accessibility. In fact, I might do it very soon. I might do it this stream. I've got cash, so maybe it's worth doing right now. First, I'm going to need more crew capacity, though. Because I definitely do not have enough yet. I don't think you need to rush straight for Star Fortress. You can, as long as you get a basic station, that can last for a while. Yeah, people, the Conquest is a great barometer, because there's a saying in the forums where basically every thread turns into a Conquest thread eventually, because whatever people talk about balance, at some point someone's going to say that the Conquest is terrible because it loses to the Onslaught. And then people have to point out, well, hold on, it doesn't have to fight the Onslaught. It's got higher top speed and maneuvering jets, so it can go around the onslaught. And it's like, okay, but that makes it bad because it can't fight it. How much do we know about the upcoming patches? We know that there's going to be massive overhauls to a lot of the Intel screens. There's some blog posts about those. But when it comes to the content, we know that there's a lot of endgame. There's a decent amount of endgame content. How much? It might be a lot. It might not be a lot. But we know that there is some coming, and we don't know too much about it. Yeah, Conquest is terrible. Always loses to Onslaught. True. He's going to release one at some point. He hasn't announced when it's going to be, but he hasn't made any blog posts in a few months, so I can assume that it's going to be, and the last one was in February, so it's going to be relatively soon. Maybe a few months, maybe 1 month. Heck, it might be next week. Yeah, they will release it when it's ready. But I doubt it's not going to be like another year or anything. So, you guys still exist. That's great. That's good to know. Max burn 8. So you guys are what are slowing me down right now. I could militarize them. But I do like the surveying equipment. That is helping me a lot. You don't need that. You definitely do not need that. Let's get an injector. Let's see. Yeah, I could throw in a single salamander. Not that it's going to be relevant, but I'll do it. Yeah, with the Conquest, you want to go with like a steady officer or even a cautious officer. And you want to max out the range as much as possible. The reason that it's struggling to turn sideways with the Conquest is usually because it's getting too close. Like a baseline Conquest, you kind of have to use Gauss cannons. And if you want to use shorter range weapons, you're going to need gunnery implants and ballistic mastery. Once you buff the range enough, then it stops. Then it doesn't have any issues with the broadside. Aiming Conquest at them. Well, that's the League's conquests. Like the key to making the AI use the broadside properly is getting enough range on them. If they don't have enough range, then they're going to struggle. Like if you use the Conquest under, like I've run a fleet of 5 Conquests, supported by 5 Tempests, and it was pretty strong. Like it can take on like double Ordo pretty easily. Yeah, NPC specifically, yeah. Yeah, for the NPCs, they don't build them very well. Too unsurveyed. Well, it's a black hole. Is there anything interesting there? Besides the gate? Not really. Just a couple barren worlds. How do I want to progress my fleet? Got all these officers that aren't doing anything, so I should... For now, I should just at least buy up some frigates. They're cheap and effective. And I've got the right skills for them. Alright, let's see. Who's up next? You've got combat endurance, so we'll throw you up here. And let's see. I mean, it's only got 1 missile slot, so missile spec's not great. Yeah, I think I'll go with field modulation ordnance expertise. And the problem is I don't... well, they do have the coil gun, so I guess that's something to work with. don't really like any of these missile options for you. I guess I'll grab the Annihilator because it's got decent ammo. That should be fine. That should be fine. Maybe drop a little bit, try to squeeze in hardened shields. Yeah, there we go. I don't think there's anything left for you, unfortunately. That sucks. What I could do... Alright. Call me crazy, but I think we're going to do this for now, until I find some better weapons for you. Yeah. We're going to do this. Actually, unstable injectors. The range penalty is not going to be relevant, but the speed definitely is. Oh, God. Good luck out there, Captain. You are going to need it. No, I'm not going to run SO. They need to last a little bit longer as a distraction. And SO kind of hurts that. I mean, yeah, it's gonna outrun the enemy, but that peak performance is going to deplete very quickly. I would only really... I'm using them most as distractions, so I would rather run SO on something that's actually going to kill the enemy. Okay, so I need fuel. No, that's not fuel. Probably going to need... Well, I should sell all this crap, actually, before I forget. Oh yeah, I do have a fuel range spool. That helps with the accessibility of that Terran world. And I should buy something, like... Honestly, so here's the thing. Here's something that you should pay attention to. The nebula is kind of a trap. Do frigate last until late game? Yes, they do. If you're using them as like skirmishers with good shields and good mobility, then yeah, they can last until late game. So the nebula is kind of a trap because look at that, 22,000 credits. How much crew capacity? Baseline is 400. The Mud Skipper is like 3,000 credits, even if you take out the D mods. It's got a maximum crew of 100. You can, like, 4 Mud Skippers is way cheaper than 1 Nebula, but they give you the same amount of crew capacity. So surprisingly enough, this is one of the cases where I think you're actually better off grabbing Mud Skippers rather than a Nebula. And normally when it comes to logistics ships, you want the bigger ones. But if you're ferrying crew around, it's going to be temporary, right? It's going to cost you more fuel and more supplies to use Mud Skippers. But like it's not. But the thing with like fuel tankers and cargo ships is that you need that capacity all the time. When it comes to crew capacity, it's temporary. You don't need 10,000 crew capacity all the time. Although even if I have those, it's not going to get me up high enough. I would actually have to buy all of them, and that would get me, well, 300 here. I'm going to have to add the crew hull mod, which is going to be annoying. But it's definitely doable. I guess you could call it interstellar or narco-capitalism. It's kind of hard to regulate the markets when you're in the middle of the Dark Ages. Yeah, let's do a colony. Let's do that. Let's take a little risk here. I've got exactly 1,000 capacity, but we can get that up higher. don't forget the efficiency overhaul, because this is going to be a little costly. Alright. That's better. So for most, like, pirate invade, like, the kinds of pirate harassment we're going to get, we can mostly handle. And as long as we keep the threat level low, then we shouldn't get, like, the big raid until we actually have a fleet. Hey, Nate. Good to see you. Finally caught a stream. And it's hard to say finally when this is, like, the second one. But I appreciate the enthusiasm. So, wait, hold on. Do Vic have a gate in their system? Let me check. No. Oh, wait, yeah, they do. I just haven't activated it, naturally. I'll go activate this, and I'm going to go buy some Cobals from them and try and get them online. Let's get some of those Cobals and try and make them work. Speaking of, I need to remember to pick up Phase Lances whenever I find them. Those 3 medium slots are pretty good for double Phase Lance. Yeah, it's a skin issue, it's not a bug. Robert is a very valuable member of the crew. Alright, so if you guys can sell me some Cobals, that would be really cool and epic. In fact, if I had a relationship score, it would go up if you would do that for me. Man, these things look cool. I have no idea what they do. That's 20, so that's a middling cruiser, and this is a destroyer. Part of the problem with a lot of Vic ships is they just so much. They've got like multiple hull mods, and then their weapons have all this text. There's just so much text. Trying to understand is a bit difficult. Penny Skenes has managed to avoid being thrown out the airlock so far. He is still around, for now. Omni Lunge allows the ship to make a rapid dash in any desired direction. Well, that sounds broken. Large Hybrid. Well, that sounds broken. Medium Missile, Medium Hybrid, Small Hybrid. So if I had to guess, this is like a glass cannon. No, it's got 0.8 shield efficiency, so that's not bad. So this is like a high-tech ship, but also it gets ballistics. That's what it looks like. Egg. I'm not getting the egg again. Right? The egg had its chance. And you know what happened to the egg? It was cooked. Egg got cooked. That's a damn shame. Oh. So there's a mining station here. I don't think I need any weapons unless you've got phase lances. Ah, there's a Cobal. Expensive to restore all of that. Oh, I mean, it's 21,000. So the baseline price, it's probably going to be like 80,000 to repair this. Yeah, it cracked under pressure. Better scramble like... The hybrids better scramble like an egg before I fold them like an omelet. Alright, this time a Cobal without demods, please. Nope, alright. That's fine. I'll just come back and check again in a few months. Yeah, I think Vic's Laidlaw weaponry is... It's soft flux damage with a fragmentation damage with a high velocity. So it's kind of, in a lot of ways, a precursor to the IR Auto Lance. Soft flux, fragmentation, very accurate, very effective. Yeah, someone on Reddit made the long quest. It is very cursed. Actually, is there any good options here? Oh god, I don't know the difference between these things. Why does this have 800... No, okay, 850 credits. I was going to say 850 range. That would be broken. Yeah, so 0.8 efficiency. Okay. This seems like a dual autocannon with higher DPS. And lower hits. Accuracy very poor. Yeah, it's the same. You're paying more ordnance points than a dual autocannon for better DPS. That's basically what it is. Okay. In that case, I'd rather get the dual autocannon. Do I really have only a light assault gun? Does any of these do anti-armor? Hullbuster. I guess, and then I'll put some kind of breach missiles. There we go. That's synergy. They synergize. Man, 3 of these though is a bit expensive on the flux, but I guess I'll have to do for now. So, do you guys have... No. No, they do not. I really doubt they have them way out on the size 3 colony, so we're just going to go through the gate. Small HE energy beam for 5 ordnance points. That sounds interesting. I wonder... Zon rare frigate is very good. Well, usually rare frigates are very good. Like the Hyperion or the Excelsior. Different levels of rarity, but the rarer they are, the better. Alright. Let's start a colony. Let's make a mistake. Alright, do I have enough fuel to get back? Yeah, we're good. Don't like this kind of activity. Is this another scavenger that thinks they can take a fight with me? Let's have a look. Because if they do, hey, if I kill them in self-defense, then it's not really my fault, is it? I'm sorry, benign time stop system doesn't sound right. You're stopping time, there's nothing benign about it. $200 supplies. Isn't it? No, it's 100 heavy machinery, 200 supplies, that's right. Alright. The Polong? No. Let me think. So there are different types of names you can go with. You can go with something that sounds cool and cinematic. Or you can go with something that just... the opposite of that. The Great Egg Parking Lot. Hold on. Caps lock. The Great Egg. This is not going to fit, is it? Hold on. Hold on. We're one short. We're one short. Unless I make parking lot one word. What about grand? Would that fit better? The egg holder. The illustrious egg holder. See, that sounds fancy. Oh, I can't fit illustrious? Darn. The elegant, the... Yeah, I was going to say excellent, but I don't want to spell that. Elegant egg holder. Confirm. Guys, I think Chaticus is a bit of a unit. What an absolute fucking unit. Skull emoji. The Chaticus unit. It's like, thanks game, couldn't have said it better myself, really. The Chaticus unit is approaching with the ISS Intrepid, a Chaticus unit courier ship, reports that after heavy fighting, the Chaticus unit is now in control of the Corvus star system. And of course, the tag has got to be Chad. The Chad Intrepid, a Chaticus unit courier ship, reports that after heavy fighting, the Chaticus unit is now in control of the Corvus star system. Skull emoji. That sounds about right. Yes, it's already losing credits, but once this is finished, this should be positive, and growth rate should be positive even without hazard pay. I don't exactly have a ton of cash to dump into hazard pay, but for now, this is it. Is there some... I have a very good friend back in Rome named Penny Skinus. When I say the name Penny Skinus, my friend will not be mocked by the common soldiery. Yeah, we're going to mock some beta cores. Absolutely. We're going to show up and we're going to do the... My name is Skylar White, yo. And there's going to be a Vine Boom sound effect, and you make the face, you know? Give them the look. And they're just going to obliterate themselves on the spot. Yeah, in this universe, it's not Biggest Dickus, it's Penny Skinus. He has a wife, you know. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's let you guys figure this out. Hold on. 625 credits. Oh, that's the upkeep, of course. The build cost, very cheap. Nice. How much money would it actually make? Questionable. Questionable. And what does this do? This is probably the Catboy Modification Center. I think I'll pass. Yeah, we're going to start with farming. I think I'm going to have to hold on to cash to make an orbital station as soon as the spaceport is finished. Grow crops, life good. Crops fight back, kill crops. Crops gone. Regret. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that. I mean, it's currently plus 10 because the stability is 0. We'll fix that soon enough. Oh god, there's so many... I'm just realizing there's so many jokes that could be made about like the different AI cores because they're named Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. There's so much untapped potential there. Like, you know why you never see the Sigma core? Because it's too busy on its Sigma grind set. It's out there grinding, making cash. In fact, the player's probably a Sigma core. Yeah, that's why you've got so many skills. Forget the alpha core theory. Some people theorize the player's an alpha core secretly. No, the player's a Sigma core. That explains so much, really. Chaticus unit, friendly. The Sigma core grind set. And I can finally store all this crap. Speaking of, we can drop off an alpha core right here to boost the accessibility. That's going to be big. Yeah, the fact that it's Chaticus unit, it's pretty good. Oh, right, of course. I forgot. My comically large spoon. I mean spool. It's like, come on, Peter. You've been missing classes. You look like you had a plastic surgery. I've been mewing. Mewing is not a major at this university. Why wasn't I told? Oh, the brain rot memes are... I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I can recite some of them from memory. All right. Do I need to do anything else here? That's probably... It's probably... I think that's the tutorial for ground combat that I don't care about. Skip tutorial. Yes. Okay. I don't need these gamma cores for anything. The alpha core is doing its job. Just gotta wait a few days. I'm gonna sit in orbit for a few days while that builds. And then we can build a battle station. Lowbrow Entertainment. That's a good name. It's turning into a meme stream. Always has been. I mean, we're even in space. This is the perfect opportunity for that meme. Wait, you mean Star Sector is all about the memes? Always has been. Now I'm going to need that. There we go. Oh, and, of course, storage you go. Yeah, the JK stuff. Yeah, those memes are pretty good. Bang. You've heard of Sigma male affirmations, but have you heard of Zoomer affirmations? Like, what I think what that stuff is, it's like ASMR, sort of, that people listen to, you know, listen to, like, alpha male affirmations, like, you're strong, you're dominant. Someone whispering that shit in your ear. But what about Zoomer affirmations? When those start coming out, it's going to be like, you're peak, you're W, you're dripped out with the fucking sauce. It's going to be great. And of course, Command and Conquer works perfectly too. I'm going to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space. You bring great dishonor to your ancestors, and you are made of stupid. Yeah, fleet construction can definitely be a good barrier to entry there. Yeah, they got all these celebrities for Red Alert 3 and had them say the most unhinged stuff imaginable, which is really the best way to send off the Red Alert series. No, my favorite iteration of the whole, of the low-tier god speech is the one where it's the opposite, where he's like, love yourself. God, I can't even, I can't remember it off the top of my head. It would be so good to do it right now. It's like, Give yourself a piece of that oxygen in that blue trap bubble, because you know what I'm here for. I'm here for you. Love yourself. And I mean that with 100%, with 1,000%. And you've got like a romance, like anime music from like a romance playing in the background. It's all bubbly. It's perfect. Yo, Worth, your life is everything. You serve all purpose. Because you know what I'm here for. I'm here for you. Love yourself. Yes, you should love yourself. Yes, of course you should love yourself. And I mean that with 100%, with 1,000%. That's my favorite iteration of that. So, we can finally build it. I mean, I'm going to choose the high-tech one, obviously. If you have to actually get into combat with it, then the high-tech one with its fortress shield is a great distraction while you kill the enemy. It's better to be a high-tier human than a low-tier god. What can I say? I don't know who you are or why you're doing this, but you're gonna be nice to me right now! I don't know how to do a Zach Hadel voice. It's too nasally. You should love yourself. I am no longer asking. You will love yourself right now. And if I had a soundboard, I would play like a gun cocking sound effect right there. Just love yourself now. I am no longer asking. This is a demand. Yeah, we're going to go high-tech. And that burns through all of our cash. But we should be fine. Ho, ho, ho. It looks like someone's not living up to the Christmas spirit. You wouldn't want to ruin the holiday season for everyone, would you? Now, you might be a bit of a Grinch on the inside, but surely you can at least pretend to be a jolly fellow. Look at Solaire. Have you not learned anything from him? The sun, jolly cooperation. Yeah, I'm one step ahead of you, Matouche. I got that jolly cooperation. I don't know if it's really the worst. I mean, I haven't done too much station combat, to be honest, so I don't know. Ho, ho, ho. It's going to be a Merry Christmas. Or else. I don't hear enough caroling out there in the audience. You wouldn't want to be put on the naughty list, would you? Because, believe me, it's not the fun kind of naughty list. I think what I need, because I need to set up a comm relay. Yeah, so I'm going to need metal, I'm going to need transplutonics, all the stuff that I harvested and then sold. Where am I going to find that? Do you guys know which stations actually sell transplutonics? I always forget. And it's got to be the refined transplutonics. I can never remember which ones have it. I mean, part of my favorite thing about the Duke Nukem meme with the peer-reviewed study is that, especially with the animated one, what's his name? Spineapples? Yeah, I'll check Chico. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to fly over there. Brazil and Chico Maztak. Okay. Does Chico Maztak have a gate that I just haven't activated? Is that what this is? Yes. Okay. I'll go to Chico Maztak. I'm going to activate the gate at some point. My favorite version of the Duke, like the animated version, he doesn't sound like he's insulting you. He just looks confused. He's like, I've got a peer-reviewed study right here that says... Says that you're a pussy. Like, he's not even insulting you. He's just confused. Jokobres. I forgot. Yeah, I'll buy some fuel while I'm there. Yeah, no, Duke is just trying to be a good friend. Like, I'm sure that when he commissioned that study, he thought it was going to say that you're awesome. But instead, the scientific community has concluded that you're a pussy. And he's just baffled that his friend would be such a thing. He's like, huh? Wait, I thought you were awesome. No, I don't give my crew drugs. If you want them, you have to pay for it with your own salary, Zigbot. Yeah, okay, we've got... How many is it? 5? I'll buy 10 just to be safe, but I think it's like 5 and 30. Wait, is this a shortage? Yeah, no, I'm not going to buy them at a shortage. But oh, that's a good price. Hello. Even on the open market, that's still cheaper than normal. Actually, what have you guys got? An Atlas on the open market. Well, unfortunately, I can't afford that. That's a shame. But I can always come back later. Chico Mostalk's not going anywhere, right, guys? Right? Surely the Hivers won't take it. Yeah, 30 metals, 5 transphotonics, 15 machinery. I guess I'll hold on to the extra 5 just in case I need to build something else. I'll drop a comm sniffer here. Oh wait, no I can't because there's patrols right here. Guys, I'm just trying to take missions from you. I'm not trying to do any illegal activity. Of course not. Yeah, more atlases. Okay, so if you want these things, you gotta come to the Hegemony Core Worlds, I guess. Yeah, no, nothing I really want here, aside from more fuel. There goes all my money. The colony better start making me cash now. Or we're gonna have problems. Well, it's already making me cash, and the farming's not finished yet. So I think that's a good sign. I think that's a good sign. Still gotta wait over a month for them to finish, but that's gonna be some good... I mean, look at this. It's at the edge of the sector, and it's got 61% access. I can even turn on Freeport. So the main problem right now is... I need to... Wait, hold on. It's supposed to have a penalty for no comm relay, isn't it? There's no penalty, though. That's odd. Well, at the very least, once I build the comm relay, it'll be up to 6. The orbital station will be up to 7. Then I need a patrol HQ, which will be up to 8, and it'll reduce hostile activity. Because I really need to get that hostile activity low. I can't really handle a proper crisis. Is there an unclaimed one? There shouldn't be. I want to turn on Freeport, but I think it's a little sketchy right now, so I'm going to hold on. Yeah, no, there's no comm relay here. Huh. It just, I guess they don't care. Weird. That's unusual. Story point population. That's true, I can. I do have a few story points to spend. Stability, I mean, in the long term, the stability is going to go up anyways, so it's very much a temporary bonus that's... Oh, that's not entirely true. I'm probably going to build a commerce here eventually, so that stability bonus will be useful in the long term as well. Oh, there is one now. I guess the scavengers just built that, and I didn't have to buy transphotonics at all. Huh. Yeah, I guess they do that sometimes. They're just like, here, take this. It's free. The first hit is free. The next one you gotta pay for. They built me a relay, and now I've just got to claim it from them. Yeah, let's spend a little to get a little. Actually, how's my hype? How's that? Not here. It's major events. Here it is. So I've got the first one at least. So slipstreams are cheap, and then you get this, which is like out of all of these, really the least important. Reverse polarity is really good. Hyperfield optimization, like all of these are really good. You know, I think topographic data would be better if you got it at every checkpoint. I might make a suggestion on the forums for this, but right, like you get all the way to 1,000 and you get like 50,000 credits out of it. It's so meaningless by that point. But if you got topographic data at each unlock, then I think it would make more sense. Because then it's like, oh, you get it at every checkpoint. And then once you've got all the abilities, you can keep getting it, even though it's like it still wouldn't be very good, but it'd kind of make more sense. Alright, well, let's go claim these. You scan the gas giants. I forget a lot of the time, but I really should. Part of the problem is that you just don't know which ones you've scanned before. There's not like any indicator, so you go to scan it and you're like, oh, I scanned this one already. Damn. Yeah, I'm going to take control of it. No one's going to stop me. It's my Nabooie now. So now, if I check the colony, 6 stability. Spend 2 story points. Boost that. 7. Spend 4 more. And then I'll hold on to the 1 in case I need to escape a fight. Because accessibility is really good. Up to 80%. Yeah, most of the time those are the... Like, you can use story points to increase the output of some industries, but it's not really worth it. You're going to get way more profit out of increasing the accessibility. The only time you really want to use story points on increasing the output of an industry is if it meets some threshold, like for the Hypershuntamp needing a ton of transmutonics. Sometimes you want to story point something so you can meet that requirement. Yeah, the Hivers are really doing a number on some of the factions. But who is it? There was one faction that actually managed to take a world from the Hivers. Yeah, these guys. The Pommed. United Pommed. They took one. Yeah, this is all Hiver now. There's a Hiver world. They took Kazaron, but that's been that way for a while. They're taking this stuff. Yeah, they are piece by piece ripping apart the core worlds. Hegemony and Iron Shovel steamroll the core world soon? I've never seen that. I've heard about that, but I've never seen it happen. Although, to be fair, I've only played with them a couple of times, so maybe it's more common and I just missed it. For one reason or another. Are they too small? Yeah, I mean, they're kind of mid-sized. But they did take a world from the Hivers, so... I mean, that's a mod faction for you. Oh yeah, military base is another good one. Yeah, the extra fleet that you get from story pointing the military base is always a heavy patrol, if I remember correctly. So regardless, like... Yeah, I think it's... No, wait. I think for patrol HQ, it's a light patrol, but if it's a military base or a heavy outpost, it's like a heavy patrol. Something like that. Man, I sure would like to buy more stuff, but my cache is empty. Speaking of, I really should be looking for missions, huh? So I can fix that whole issue. I'll tag these in case I happen to be nearby. Well, those are some bounties. Ah, yes, the Hivers want me to kill pirates. Of course. This is only natural. If the bugs hold Kazaron when the Klieg... Oh. Right, I forgot about that. Whichever faction controls Kazaron during the League Crisis, they're the ones sending fleets. And if I'm getting Hiver fleets for during the League Crisis, that's going to be a problem. Although I'm pretty confident that I'm going to roll like the pirates and the Ludic Path first. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. By the time the Hivers roll up, I should have weapons to deal with them. Speaking of tech mining, I might want to go... And that's okay. It might be the other system that I'm thinking of. Down here? Yeah. Tech mining... No, it's the best that I've got is widespread, which is okay. You can find some good stuff there. The best use case for something like this would be to set up a Size 3 colony, tech mine the widespread ruins, and then abandon the colony after a while. Yeah, if all else fails, just start spamming AI cores to get the hegemony's attention, because, as we all know, multiple crises can't happen at once. I didn't see any good missions. That's unfortunate. The bounties are definitely scaled up a bit. Unfortunately, I lost my fleet, so that's not happening. This, I mean, I could do that, but it's not worth a whole lot. This is... I just don't want to deal with this. This is all missile destroyers. No thanks. That definitely looks a bit scary. No. This one's the closest that I think, because you can see here they've got Eradicator, Adventurer. Like, these are always their real ships, and then they've got a bunch of, like, weak nonsense. So this one might be a bit sketchy, but I think I can do this. Let me just double check my loadouts. Yeah, there's not really much else I can do. Well, let's actually run a little simulation. Let's run a little combat test. Scroll down to some vanilla stuff. Throw out a couple of these. Some of those. Throw in that. We're at 49, yeah. So we'll put it at like 90. I can't wait for the simulator to get upgraded too, because trying to estimate combat strength based off of this is a bit... Well, the pirates... Well, it's more accurate to say the pirates have a lot of junk, so we'll throw in a bunch of junk. Like that. It's going to be more like this. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the gear to properly equip a cruiser as it stands. So hopefully, they'll be able to keep up. Although I'm probably not going to deploy the mule. I'm probably going to keep it in reserve. Oh, well, that's annoying. No thanks. Well, that's not ideal. At least I've got range, so I can poke at the seagull. Yeah, kill that, thank you. Yeah, no, I don't really want you to actually directly engage them like that. Here, let's punch down a little bit. Get over here. Yeah, this pirate fight is definitely going to be sketchy, but they're not going to have anything as good as an eagle. I definitely need like a repair unit or something though, because right now my flagship has no S mods, and you can feel it. It has no S mods and no resistance to like EMP or anything. You can definitely feel that. Yeah, 10 rapid fire Reapers are pretty scary. Although on the Eradicator, I think hammers are a better choice. No, there's an ion beam mixed in there. It's not graviton beams. Yeah, I think... but I've only got one story point after maxing out my colony. But the problem that I've got currently is I have really no resistance to anything. At the very least, I should get resistant flux conduits. Having no EMP resistance is just a nightmare, and the venting speed is nice. Where is it? Pretty... There we go. How much would it cost? 28,000? Yeah. I'm not going to do that for now. Where are you? Arid World, Yellow Primary Star. Well, if it was in this one, it would say Trinary. So it's got to be this one, because this is a different constellation. Yeah, it's this one specifically. And it's an arid world. Although, first of all, we can use gates to get there closer. Remember, kids, the gates are more fuel efficient than traveling. On top of just being faster. Why fly places like a plebeian? Like a basic, normal pleb? Just teleport, fool. Everyone can do it. Alright, and for no particular reason, I'm going to save. And definitely not for the opportunity to save scum in case things go wrong. You guys are going to attack me, aren't you? Oh, hey, another gate. Would you look at that? Wow. Domain error comm relay, domain error nav buoy. This is great. Yep, you guys, the salvage fleet's going to attack me. I don't even get bonus XP. That's how weak they are. Oh, I forgot to not deploy you, but that's fine. These guys, they've got a couple Medusas. Like, it's going to be fine. Oh, look, they've got Graviton Medusas. Yeah, not exactly a threat. Wait, are those... Oh, they've got converted hanger daggers. That's terrible. I love it. Yeah, let's just destroy this guy. He doesn't stand a chance. Gravitons and tactical lasers with bombers. Oh my, that's so awful. Yeah, you guys didn't stand a chance. I don't know why they even thought they could. Yeah, it looks like the missile package on that mule is doing pretty nicely. I don't really like the medium Gorgon, but for now it's fine. I would really rather switch it and have small Gorgons with a medium harpoon. That would be a much better combination. Well, I can't say much better, but it would be a little bit more efficient. Yeah, a lot of... Luckily for the player, you might be bad at making builds at your first time, but don't worry, so is the AI. Oh, it looks like it fired off all of its missiles and did manage to do some damage here. To a Centurion. blast him. Fold him like an omelet. Yeah. And now they've got all of these juicy cargo ships that I can hunt. Yeah. Their combat fleet wasn't that big, but they're protecting a lot of supply ships. And a lot of supply ships... Autofit R Medusa. Skull emoji. That could be useful. No, I don't want that. Alright, let's drive into the sun so we can pick up this tiny little dram. What the heck is this thing? Ah, it's one of those. We salvage those. 15, and I can explore the ruins. Sounds good. What do you guys want? Uh-huh. Yeah, actually, I could use some more crew. That's perfect. You guys are going straight into Talon cockpits, though. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I'm not sorry. If I was sorry, I wouldn't do it in the first place, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Well, there's a little scavenging going on. Okay. Let's get that online. And there it is. So I'm seeing a lot of kites. Oh, so there's a pirate afflictor, but it counted as less important than the Buffalo Mark II? Really? Are you sure? That doesn't seem right to me. I'm just at the cusp of getting another story point. Actually, how much bonus XP do I have? I should have a lot. Yeah, 900,000. Yeah, I've got a lot. I'll save here. For no particular reason. 54%? That's doable. Absolutely. I am going to send you into combat, though. Try not to die. That would be inconvenient for me. Remember, son, dying is gay. Yes, father. Or the modern version, Queen Never Cry. Whoa, buddy. Alright, I get that you're enthusiastic, but like, let's not block line of fire here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of the time the pirates like to put shield shunt, which is not as wise as it sounds. And it doesn't sound wise in the first place. Let's just dodge that Reaper. Point defense? Why do I need point defense? Just don't get hit in the first place. Oh no. Okay, we're fine. It was aiming at the mule and it almost got me by proxy. We're fine though, we're fine. And this is what I was worried about. Engines are out. This is why I really want... It's doing the thing it says in the description of the Eradicator, that they that during a test they would spin out because one engine went out. That actually happens. S-modded repair unit's really good. That's why I want it. This positioning is terrible. Let's back up. Come on now, back her up. There we go. Alright, so that's a kite down, that's good. So you're distracting that. Yeah, it's... I just don't have enough frigates. I need a larger number of frigates. That's what I really need. Alright, this gremlin is running out of... Yes, okay, let's kill him. And nobody's coming to save him. He's isolated. His hard flux is going really high. Okay, well, I'm going to kill you first, though. Okay, so the gremlin did get saved by his friend. Yeah, the Centurion's not as good as distracting things as the Omen, but it's still pretty decent. Alright, please move. Look at that. They're beating the Venture. That's what I like to see. Yeah, that Centurion went down. Unfortunate, but it did its job. Oh, I don't like this positioning at all. Oh no. Okay, so you two can kill this thing. You can keep distracting those. I don't know what you're doing exactly. For reach emoji, yes. Alright, Matush. 69, that's a lot. Thank you very much. Hold on, let me click the heart. I'll fit in a Reaper emoji. When you first make memberships, they only give you 2 emoji slots, but then if you get like 3 people, then they're like, okay, now you can have like 5. Here you go. Okay, I'm gonna try and not die. I think the main thing might be taking out these guys here. Now, luckily, given that it's sort of a combat ship, the Mule shouldn't get any logistics demons. It should get combat demons instead. Yeah, I think a big part of what's screwing me over here is the Talon spam. Because Talons are pretty good, even if the carrier isn't. Whoop! Burn drive to dodge a Reaper? I think so. That was about as close as it gets, I think. And so why is the Omen good? Well, I'm not really sure. It's just kind of a vibe, you know? I don't have any empirical evidence of Omens being good, but I suspect, you know, it's just like it's got a hunch, you know? I can't prove anything. It's you know, maybe it's just personal preference, really. Although I am a little concerned with how high its flux is getting, and it's at the corner of the map, which causes the AI to get a little squirrely. No. Yeah, no, it's done. No, wait. Oh, wow, that was so close. That was actually incredibly close. Yeah, EMP Needlers are a little whack. That's part of the problem with, like... Even the pirates get access to some, like, interesting mod weapons that make the game a little more challenging. I did not account for EMP Needlers when taking on this fight. It's really a good thing I put on those resistant flux conduits. So now we're going to have to deal with all of those guys coming in. Alright. So taking this out will be one more body off the field. My flux is really high. And I can vent here. Oh god, here they come. Yeah, these EMP Needlers are kind of BS. Like, the Enforcer's normally not that much of a threat, but these things are really... Like, I can't do much against these. They actually make it threatening. Can't just ignore them like I normally would. Alright, let's just try and pelt it from range. Light assault gun, go. Do the hull damage. It's like the one thing you're good at. Okay, good. That's one... Man, it's not just that they have the EMP needle. They have so many of these things. I mean, I think they're EMP. Okay. So we lost another Centurion. There's a lot of enemy ships still. You didn't even leave the battlefield at that hull? As a brave man. Yeah, they've got an Afflictor still. This thing should... It's still not out of combat readiness? That's a pain. Okay, I should be able to kill this thing. Alright, that's another one down. But the broadswords are kind of the most threatening, really. Oh, EMP, thank you. And you're back, even though I kind of kicked your ass earlier. You're still chugging along. And there's still another Enforcer. Can't really vent because it's got another Reaper. Okay, hold on. Let's just dodge by backing up. Now we can vent. Alright, you kill that. I don't know why the Omen is the one that's closer to the phase ship when I told the Centurion to do it. Like, you have a job. I'm paying you. Okay, so that... I was going to say the Vanguard should retreat from combat now, but it's just dead. So that's better. Is this going to retreat? It's at hull at 25. Yeah, it's getting out of here. Okay. Does this thing still have its armor? Mostly, yeah, that's going to be annoying. This thing has Hurricanes, but it's being very conservative with its ammo, so it's probably running out. I mean, honestly, even if I have to restart, which I might, considering how things are going, the trip was still worth it, mostly because of the other scavengers attacking me. And those things have range, too. It's like they're matching range with my hypervelocity drivers. It's probably because he's got gunnery implants, eh? That would do it. Oh, that's not good. Yep, that is really not good. So I can't take this on alone, and I've only got one Centurion supporting me now. I've got range, but... Man, this is rough. I'm chipping away at them slowly. But is it going to be enough? Oh, the Centurion. Oh, the Centurion's at 20%. And all of the enemies seem to have combat endurance because they've still got going. If I could just get one of these guys off the battlefield, but I don't think I can do it. Not in a reasonable amount of time, anyways. Maybe I can close in on... Here. And now my flagship's running out of This is pretty rough. I mean, well, yeah, mods do kind of have main character syndrome. That's to be expected. Yeah, low hit strength plus EMP. Yeah, I think this is done. It's a good thing I saved just before going into that. Honestly, it was close enough that I think if I changed my strategy, it might be doable. How do I want to approach this? I mean, I gave you escort package, so I guess I should do that. Start on autopilot. Okay, we need to clear out the trash quickly. Oh, you do have shields. Look at that. So you guys aren't dying in the process. Okay, good. The faster we clear out the trash, the better. Okay, so that worked over here. You two are just being harassed by fighters. You're dealing with that. You killed that. Perfect. Kill that, please. Alright, let's see if we can get rid of this. This is kind of where the light assault gun should be really good. Yeah, and the Gorgons as well. Perfect situation for them. Yeah, mostly going to let you take care of that instead of trying to take care of that first. Because the Eradicator itself takes a long time to kill, but if I remove all of its support, then it's not very threatening. Alright, I think we're locked in. Yeah, I think this time is going a lot better. See, look, it's distracting both of those things. In fact, I can even put an avoid order on that so it doesn't get itself killed. You can come over here. You can get more aggressive with that. Yeah. Yeah, this is going a lot better. Yeah. A lot less carrier. We've already removed one of the carriers and the long-range missile support. You can get aggressive with that. You can get aggressive with that. I can go kill that thing. Did I lose the Centurion down here? I think... Yeah, because I had 3. I've only got 2 now. Yeah, well, it did its job. Stay aggressive, stay aggressive. If you can take out the engines, that would be perfect. Nope, alright. Not quite. Your flares are meaningless against my unguided missiles. I do not fear you, pirate. I only fear the wrath of blood. And you, specifically, are you. Wait, did you kill another Centurion? You did. Okay, you guys can clean that up. And since I've still got the 2 omens, I should be able to finish this off. Okay, let cover for the mule so he can back up. Finish you off because you're a pain. I've had enough of your broadswords. Yeah, it looks like you're next on the victim list, huh? And I could use a little assistance. Just a bit. Just in a little spot of trouble. Man, this is... Whew. Can't even talk much. This is requiring focus. Damn. No, don't kill it again. I really need those. Yeah, the Afflictor's almost dead, though, so there is that. We can bait it in. Yep. Okay. I think we got this. Yeah, just need you guys to like Antimatter Blaster and strip off the armor and we should be good. Yeah, and now they're all going after the Centurion. Perfect. And of course it's got impact mitigation and damage control to make it as annoying as possible to kill. Just gotta get that armor off. There we go. Yeah, and there goes the Centurion, so it's just me and the Omens. Did they really need to give you damage control and impact mitigation? Good lord. You are one tough nut to crack. Although I guess it's kind of also because I don't really have much high explosive DPS myself. We're finally getting there. Okay. We're finally getting there. It's been 84 years. Oh, the rest of them retreated. Nice. Ah, oh, thank goodness. Okay, see, we just needed to change our strategy. The first time I spent too much time trying to kill the Eradicator when I really should have been focusing down all the little guys supporting them. Yeah, we are so back. Okay. Second in command. There we go. Ship recovery. They don't cost any story points, so that's fine. I've got enough crew, I've got enough supplies, we're good. Whew. Let's see. Yeah, that was a pretty decent chunk of XP. Fleet is over cargo capacity. Well, we won't be for long because we're going to burn through a lot of supplies very soon. But that stuff's not worth much anyway, so I can dump it. Okay, and we're going to take this. We can hover around that gate. Alright, we're looking good. We're gaming. Whew. Oh. I always do that. I tap through one because that's the default option, and instead of capturing it, I break it down. That's a mistake. Well, whatever. It's not that important. I'm sure. I'm sure it wasn't that important. It's just a nav buoy. Rest in peace, Navbui. We hardly knew ye. What condition is it in? Degraded shields and compromised hull. Don't think so. Yeah, so if you're going to take on pirates, definitely need more anti-hull and anti-armor damage, because that took a while. Level 5, okay. Depends on your skill set. You might be good. Yeah, a little more of the domain has eroded away. You thought John Starsector, Chaticus Rex, was here to fix the domain? No. I'm here to wipe its memory from existence. One Navbui at a time. Piece by piece. You will undo the unholy creations of the domain. Yeah, well, thanks for showing up, Wade. And Locust. Alright, we can store all this crap. Whew! That was a fight. That was a fight. How are we doing back at home? Hey, the farming's almost done. Look at that. And we got cash. We got money. We got cash money. Okay, so I did just recover them, right? There's no demods. I'm just now thinking about this. None of you guys... Oh, no, there they are. They're just not showing up, of course. My bad. High-tech pirates speaking French, of course. They'd be like, Bonjour, monsieur. Baguette. Je vais te frapper la tête avec le son. Man, it was weird how the demons weren't showing up for a second there, but they're back. Is there a French faction mod? I haven't seen it. Or if they have, I am not aware of it. Yeah, degraded engine's not a big deal. I mean, it's fine. This is why hull restoration is really good for most of the game. It's really good until you've got your endgame fleet and you're taking on endgame threats. So, I do have 140,000. I probably want to spend that to get... Yeah, the John name of game meme it came before Dark Souls, but it was definitely Dark Souls that popularized it. It was a lot more niche before that. Well, actually, hold on. I got a new officer that doesn't fit. What do you do? That's a pretty good low-tech skill set. Which is not something I have, but it could be nice. Speaking of low-tech skill sets, maybe you could replace that guy. Yeah, you've got the same skill set as Second Lebanon, but better. No, that's not... Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, of course. Of course. I was on the wrong one. Yeah, okay. You can be first, I get. No, Robert Smith has to be first on the list. There we go. A little more demod, a little more skills. Yeah, Vape Smoker 420 is kind of legendary because of that one video. Well, First Lebanon, just getting some shore leave. I'm right at my colony. It's not like I dumped them into space. I'm not a barbarian. Well, I'm not a barbarian until Penny Skenis gets involved. That guy is definitely getting a bullet to the head when I finally let him go. Yeah, it's always funny when you have like one portrait that you pick for your first few runs, and then you try a different portrait and you see yourself and you're like, "Hey, wait, that's me." Oh, no, it's not. That's right. I changed portraits. Whoops. Surely you've never thrown someone out an airlock. Surely not as part of the main quest line you wouldn't throw someone out of an airlock, would you? I'll just keep that. I'll hold on to all of this. Most of these will never be used, but boy howdy am I going to hold on to them just in case. You better believe it. Alright, time to visit the core worlds. I'm going to hit... let's see. I want to go to Spindle. I guess I can go to Monella, take this slipstream. Yeah. Let's do it that way. Oh my god. I want to hit a little comm sniffer in the Spindle system so that I can actually get their quests. Or their missions. Do you guys even think you stand a chance? This fleet is so much easier than the last one I fought. Alright, I'm gonna fight you. Forget about it. Free stuff. Thanks. Oh, hold on. Frozen. There we go. I don't even need the mule. That guy can stay behind. I'll take the free stuff, thank you very much. What a kind and generous donation. Okay, I don't actually want to fight you specifically. Like, somebody else should fight you, really. Yeah, like an Omen. I mean, hell, if you want to die first, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's all low-tier trash. It's gonna get picked apart by a superior frigate. We have the better technology. We can rebuild them. Stronger. Yeah, I don't think putting a shield on a hound is really a good idea. You are way out of position. Like, how about you try doing something? Yeah, that was never going to hit me. And this thing doesn't have an officer, so it should die a lot easier. You know, I'm kind of like Doctor Strange. I simulated all 8,000 possible universes where we fight you, and you don't win in any of them. So I don't know why you even tried. Perhaps they simply have a death wish. Who's to say? Now we'll send a couple of these, and there we go. Completely obliterated. Down to the last man. They didn't stand a chance. See, there is a comm relay in the system, but it seems like nobody controls it? I have a few questions. It's probably just showing me it neutral, but I bet somebody controls it, and I'll find out when I get there. Farming, excellent. What's our income? 17. It's still positive even if I go for hazard growth, but I also don't need the hazard growth. On the other hand, the cash would be nice. So I'll take the cash. I want to keep, as much as I want the free port, hazard rating is, the stability is a concern. Let's see, let's just take a look. Ah, yes, of course, the Howling Phantom. Wait a minute. That's right next to my system. You know, it's tempting, but I think I'll pass. Colony Crisis. So we're down to +6. That's good. Yeah, I don't think you can get this down to 0 anymore. But it should grow, once we get it down to 3, it should grow slow enough that I can deal with it. Yeah, the neighbors look nice. Why don't you go talk to the neighbors? The neighbors. Howling Phantom. Super Battleship. Yes. Very nice. Very friendly. Welcoming, even. Alright. Sell a bunch of this crap. Some light autocannons would actually be nice. I could use a few of those. So you've got them. These have better efficiency and better DPS. I think they have better accuracy? Yeah, medium versus good. Are these things just better? Yeah, they might be. What's the hit strength? It's got better hit strength too. For just one more ordnance point, I think these things are just better than light autocannons. Yeah, it looks like the Knights of Lud have given us a better light autocannon. Don't like that lag. That was not good. I guess you're going to continue using that for now, huh? Alright, do you guys actually have... Yeah, I didn't think so. They lost their main world, so there's not much that they can sell me. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, they're not even putting out any missions. They're in a bad spot. Restarting the game will probably help. Yeah, but we are getting close to 3 hours. So, I think I'm fine calling it here. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, we've got to fix up this colony, deal with incoming pirate crisis, and build up our fleet. And until then, I'm going to wish you luck, Starfarer. I'm going to call it here. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. In fact, I might even do another stream tomorrow. I'll do something like I'll get the missile tier list uploaded, and then like have a stream start at when that's like immediately after that. And good luck, Starfarers. I'll see you next time.